Good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another album review of The Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today we're going to talk about the brand new album by the band Real Friends, and it's called Blue Hour. And this is a band, it's a pop punk emo band from Illinois, and I really got into this band more last year when I talked to Justin from Workers, and we had a mutual love of pop punk, and this was a band that he said for me to listen to that I never listened to him before. So I listened to an EP that I think they put out last year, and they had a song called 6 Feet, which was all about like not being missed while you were like 6 feet underground. And I thought it was great, like the lyrics, everything. So I was really anticipating this record, Blue Hour, and this is the cover of the album. It's very reminiscent of an album cover of a band from Puerto Rico that released an album last year called Corre Forest, and they had like a window, but it wasn't blue. So I was reminded of that album cover. So yeah, this album is 13 songs, 37 minutes, and the album, asked by the band, what Blue Hour symbolizes is the pain of certain life chapters coming to an end while simultaneously representing the potential joys of what lies ahead. It's a time when we shed tears of sadness for the past and tears of joy for the glimmers of hope in the future. So yeah, when I was listening to this record, I did get that feeling of like it is a sad album in parts, but there's glimmers of hope in some of the songs. So it's not like it's like a super sad affair the whole way through. The album deals with a lot of topics. They deal with death. They talk about like toxic relationship, ends of relationship, not feeling like home is someplace that is only in your mind and it doesn't exist. And I think it's subject matters that everyone can relate to. So they had a few singles out before the full length was released this Friday. So I got to listen to a lot of the record before, and I love the singles. The singles are great. I think they did a great job with the singles. So the singles for this album, you have "Our Love Was Like a Sad Song," you have "Waiting Room," you have "Never Has Become Always," and "When You Were Here." So they had four songs out of the 13 songs that they put out. So let's talk about "Waiting Room." "Waiting Room" is a song about losing a loved one. When they're in a hospital and like the hospital bed becomes a waiting room because the person's gonna die. And there's some parts in the lyrics where the singer is singing about, when the person is dead and they're giving their clothes to Goodwill, it hurts. And he talks about, like the smell of cigarettes permeating the car. And, smells reminds you of people. And I think anyone can relate to losing loved ones, and especially after losing them, maybe if you have like things that belong to them, it's like they're still with you in a way. So I thought that's a great song. It's pretty emotional in nature, and there's a line in there. They say it says like I thought I was fine till I lost. They say like you can heal, but when I lost you, it's still not healing. I forgot the lyric. Sorry about that. But it's a great track. Oh, I remember now. I thought time healed every wound till I lost you, and I think that's a great line. And who cannot relate to that? Like sometimes you lose people that you love, but time, you still miss them. So it's a great track. And then you have a song like "Our Love Was Like a Sad Song," which is more upbeat, but it's all about like that relationship that is doomed from the start, because he says like "Our love was like a sad song," and it's real catchy and earwormy. So it's really about that. It's really about two people that find each other, but they know from the start that it's not going anywhere. It's not going to end. Good. And everyone can relate to, like you can date someone and sometimes it's doomed from the start. So not every like romance has a happy ending. Think of 500 Days of Summer, and you can relate to this song. Then you have a song that they released that was so great. Besides that one, uh, the singles really Never Has Been Always is a single that is, I think, the more hardest song that the band has put to tape. And I saw an interview where the singer saying that he was more influenced in that song by bands like Toche Amori and Defeater. So it's a more harsher, aggressive kind of track, uh, not like the other tracks that they released in the past. So I thought that that was great. And, it's a different feel for the band to have a song that feels like that. It's more aggressive. Then the other song, When You Were Here, it's another song about a toxic relationship. On that one, they're focusing of like when the relationship is already over and the person is questioning like I was happier when you were here. And there's a line he says like I don't want to live, I don't want to die, but I don't want to live. So it's that feeling you get when a relationship is over and everything seems so tragic at the beginning, and you're like, oh, I wish you were here, but sometimes then you think of it and it was a toxic relationship, maybe not the best. So those are the singles, and I think they represent the album really well. But there's more great tracks on this record. I love I Was a Deer in Your Headlights, which starts the album. And it starts the album in a way that's very emo-like. So you listen to a track and you're like, yeah, this you know what to expect from this album. It's going to be kind of like a sad affair with I Was a Deer in Your Headlights. So that's all like about a relationship that was so short that you were like a deer that you were about to hit with your car. So it's a great metaphor for a very short affair or relationship. You have more aggressive songs like Cold Blooded, which is another one that is more fast paced and a little bit more aggressive than other tracks, but always with those great melodies. And then there are the songs that touch upon like missing like a home, like a place I don't think exists. It's a great one to talk about that because that song is all about like the singer is reminiscing about like missing home, but then he says like maybe home is a place that doesn't exist anymore. And I thought of a movie that's called Garden State because there was a part on that movie and a scene where the main protagonists are in a pool and they're talking about that same thing about like feeling like you sometimes you miss what you home, and it's a place that no longer exists anymore. It's just like a memory. So I think that I don't know if they watched that movie and that played into that song, but it's that type of feeling. Other great tracks like Radiant, it's like another love song, which I thought had a great chorus to it. And the album really uh, ends well. There's a track called 10th Floor, another more like aggressive number. And I know how this ends is the softer song on the record that ends, and it's very somber song, and it's all about like some everything ends, and it's quite a sad song to end the album. But yeah, like I said, this is an album that's about like something that ends, but hopeful for new beginnings, and that's why I think they have like that window in the album cover. So yeah, 13 tracks. I thought every track was really good. This is a emotional pop punk record that I think is there's this is going to rival the story so far for like pop punk album of the year. This album and that other one, they're neck and neck, and they both touch on similar type of subject matter. So yeah, So my favorite track, I think, is still, I think Waiting Room is the best track on this record. Uh, it's just such an emotional song that I really connected to it, but I really enjoyed other tracks. A Place I Don't Think Exists is great. Our Love is Like a Sad Song. Uh, and another one that's really catchy is This Year Is Out to Get Me. And it's so about like, when you're like, it's like, yeah, this is gonna be my year. And they're like, no, it's not. It still uh keeps getting worse. So this is the type of album, Blue Hour, that sometimes you have to put some songs on repeat because you're gonna say, like, yeah, this line didn't hurt me as much as I thought, so I need to listen to it so it can hurt me more. But sometimes through hurt we find healing. So yeah, this is a great record for Real Friends, Blue Hour. I really enjoyed it. Uh, I love the lyrics and the music. So I think it's a great record that if you like pop punk with emo, you should not sleep on it. So I want to know from you, Cultures, what do you think of this album by Real Friends, Blue Hour? Do you enjoy it? Do you think it's sad? Mm, or does it have some positive to it? Comment down below and tell me what your favorite tracks are. And if you like the videos that I'm putting out, do not forget to give me a like and do not forget to subscribe. That helps me with the YouTube algorithm to get to more people like yourself. So, coming up this weekend, on Sunday, there's a new Is It That Bad for the new album by The Offspring called Supercharge. And it's going to be like a big panel. So, be on the lookout for that. So, until next time, Couchers, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on the couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.